Hi, I'm Diane Kometa, and today on Dishin with Di, I'm going to show you how to make butternut squash risotto. This is a really delicious side dish, or it can be served as an entree, and it's simple to make. So let me show you what you need, and we'll get started on Dishin with Di. You need some butternut squash that's been peeled, seeded, and cut into about 1-inch chunks, some arborio rice, some fresh grated Parmesan cheese, a sweet onion that's been finely chopped, some finely minced garlic, saffron, some vegetable broth or chicken broth, a little bit of white wine, and some unsalted butter. So the first thing we're going to do is get this butternut squash roasted. So I have a baking sheet here and I've lined it with a little bit of foil, and that's just going to make my cleanup easy. And this is where I'm going to put my butternut squash, and I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil over that, and then season that with a little bit of salt and a little bit of freshly ground black pepper. And then I'm going to toss this around with my hands. Just get everything really well coated. And then just spread it out in a nice even layer. And then you're going to pop this into your preheated oven, 400 degrees, for about 25 to 35 minutes, or until it becomes nice and tender and develops a good amount of color. And I'll meet you at the stove and we'll start the rest of the recipe. I just added the stock to this pot here, and I have this heating over medium heat. Now what I'm going to do over here is this pot is heating over medium-low heat, and I'm adding the butter in, and I'm just going to melt that. Then I'm going to add in the garlic along with the onion, and I'm going to season that with a little bit of salt. Just going to give that a little stir around and let this cook for about 5 to 7 minutes, or until the onions become nice and tender and translucent. And now I'm adding in that rice. And you just want to stir that and get the rice thoroughly coated with the butter. And then grab the wine and pour that right in. Mix that around to thoroughly combine everything. And then you're going to cook this for about another 3 minutes or so, until you see the rice start to look like it's getting a little bit thick and it's like absorbing that wine. Okay, you can see that the rice has absorbed just about all of that wine. And now we're going to take some of this stock and we're going to put this into the pot. You see now why it's important to have this hot, because we're adding this gradually to the rice, and you don't want to cool the rice off. Now give that a stir, and you're going to add in a good amount of salt and some pepper. And then you're going to add those saffron threads in. And the saffron gives it a really delicious flavor. It's kind of hard for me to explain saffron. It's very unique, and it's something that you really ought to try if you've never had it before. It's something you'll probably like. I remember when I first tried it, I was wondering, what is this? And I'm just hooked on it now. I love it in lots of things, especially this dish. So now you're going to just let this cook for about 10 minutes until the rice absorbs most of that broth, and then you're going to add some more broth in. So you're going to continue to do that every 10 minutes or so until the rice absorbs all of the broth. The risotto has been cooking for about 30 minutes and just about all of the liquid is absorbed. So now I'm just going to move this off of the heat, and I'm going to put in my butternut squash. And this got nice and browned, and it's very tender. And then I'm going to add that cheese in, because risotto isn't risotto without some cheese. So just put this in and then toss that around gently. And look how creamy that is. That is absolutely beautiful with the butternut squash in there, and it smells amazing. This is actually going to be my dinner tonight, so it's perfect as a side dish, but definitely can be served as an entree. So this is going to be a little bit hot. Wait, get some more of that risotto on there. One of my favorites. Nice creamy texture. You have to be patient when you cook the risotto or the rice because it has to absorb that liquid slowly, but well worth the wait. You have to try this. The recipe is on my website, dishinwithdi.com. I look forward to seeing you next time, and I hope I made your life a little easier, more enjoyable, and delicious. Bye-bye now.